Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I kind of figured I would share with you guys my favorite warm tone drugstore eyeshadow palettes, and I'm honestly surprised that I haven't filmed this video before on my channel because I'm like Saida, you love warm tone eyeshadows. So just keep in mind these are just my current favorites, so it's not going to be like my all-time forever favorites because you guys know I love a good warm tone eyeshadow palette. I definitely will be doing a more higher end version like this, but I kind of figure let's kind of stick to drugstore for this video. So starting off, the first one is going to be a all matte eyeshadow palette. It's going to be the e.l.f. Matte for Matte eyeshadow palette. This one is called Summer Breeze, and I did use this palette in an actual tutorial on my channel. I will have that link for you guys in my description box, but here is the eyeshadow palette right here. And again, it is a warm tone eyeshadow palette. I just love the fact that you do have like a neutral array of colors in here, plus you do have your warm tone shadows right here on this little corner of the palette. They are really pigmented and they blend out really nicely. I'm not going to say it's the most pigmented warm tone eyeshadow palette that I have tried, but for it to be a all matte drugstore warm tone eyeshadow palette, I do like it a lot. Here is a few of these swatches on my hand. And here they are right here. So you can definitely find this palette at either Target, Walmart, and I want to say CVS and Ulta. So pretty much you can find e.l.f. like any and everywhere. So that is my first favorite warm tone eyeshadow palette, and you can either wear the palette by itself. In that video I did a straight like matte eyeshadow look, no shimmer on that video, or you could use it to assist other palettes that may not have really good transition colors or matte colors in the palette. Moving on to my next one is going to be by Wet n Wild. This one is going to be the Rosé in the Air eyeshadow palette. It is their newest like color icon eyeshadow quad. You guys know they changed up the look of the palette, so you open it like a book, which is pretty cool. And here is the palette. I love on the back how they pretty much break down where you can apply the eyeshadow. So if you are a beginner with makeup, it will definitely help you out to create like a day or night look. But again, here is the colors. I haven't used this one on my channel because you guys don't typically tend to do warm tone looks, so I kind of figured I would use the other one on my channel, which I did. But I'll just say this, the colors in here are really pigmented. They did a really good job with this eyeshadow palette, and honestly I just kind of feel like Wet n Wild as a brand, they do really good with their makeup products. Let me just do a couple quick swatches for you guys. These pigments in here, they're definitely buttery and they blend out really nicely. The mattes can be a little bit dry in this palette, but at the same time you still get some good pigmentation from it. You do get a little bit of kickback as well with this palette, but it's not the most kickback that I've seen in compared to like other palettes, which is definitely a good thing. Here is the colors. Again, they're super pigmented, blend out really nicely. Some are more creamier than others. I will say the matte's a little bit more dry compared to the shimmer shades, but again, the pigmentation is there. You can blend it out really nicely, and surprisingly all the colors show up really good against my skin tone, except for like this like grayish one. I definitely would not use that on me, but besides that, all the other colors in the hair are really good and they are super inexpensive. e.l.f. and Wet n Wild are going to be your more affordable ones compared to everything else in front of me, but they're really good. Moving on, I do have this palette by Bad Habit Beauty. It's their Inferno eyeshadow palette. This is actually a dupe to the Naked Heat palette, and I do have this palette on my eyes right now as we speak. Here is what the palette look like. So it's a really pretty eyeshadow palette. You do not get that much fallout with this palette compared to their other palettes because they have their Artistry palette, which is a dupe to the Anastasia Softland palette. That palette had so much fallout that I actually didn't like that palette the first time that I used it, but I do like it now. But the first time I was like, it's too much fallout. But this one is actually pressed really nicely, so as you can see it's not that messy. Again, it is a dupe to the Naked Heat palette, and I just love how pigmented these shadows are. Like, you honestly don't even need to wet your brush, but I'm the kind of person where I like to wet my brush to get the most out of the pigment, and I do feel like these shadows do perform better when they're wet, but you don't have to wet it to get the intensity of the eyeshadow. But I prefer to wet all of my shimmer shades, whether it's high in the drugstore. It's just my preference for what I like. And again, they're super pigmented. They blend out really nicely. All the colors look so good against my skin tone. Even the nudes, because some nudes or browns, they don't show up against my skin tone in terms of like a nice transition shade or like crease color. But these right here, look at that. Super pigmented, and it's definitely intense. And again, you don't have to wet your brush if you don't want to, but just know you do get the best out of the shimmer shades if you do wet your eyeshadow brush. So again, love that eyeshadow palette. I do have it on my eyes today. It's from Bad Habit Beauty. You can find them on Shop Hush. I do prefer to shop through the app because you do get free shipping, so keep that in mind. And I want to say that palette is $12. Their prices used to be $10, but because of the popularity of the brand Bad Habit, they did increase their prices to, I think it's $12. Moving on, the next one is actually going to be a recent purchase for me, but the first time I used it, I pretty much knew that I was in love with the palette, and I did use it on my channel, so you guys saw for yourself how pigmented it was. This one is going to be by Makeup Revolution. It is their Neutrals 2 eyeshadow palette, and here is the palette. I told you guys in my haul that this is pretty much like my kind of colors when it comes to a warm tone eyeshadow palettes. Everything in here is so pretty. You have your nice oranges, your pinks, your mauves, your pops of like browns in here for like your transition and your outer V. You have like that one white shade for like your brow bone color. Like these colors in here, they're just amazing. And let me do a few swatches. I'm not gonna say it's the most creamiest eyeshadow palette that I've swatched. However, the pigmentation is definitely there. So as long as the eyeshadow palette is really pigmented, I don't really care about the swatches because you're putting it on your eyes, not your hands. So just kind of keep that in mind. But yeah, super pigmented eyeshadow palette, and it was actually affordable. I want to say I paid either $7 or $9 for this eyeshadow palette. Again, you can find them at Ulta, but here is the swatches. Look at that. It's so pretty. And again, these perform really good whether it's dry, whether it's wet. It performs really good on its own. And I tried a different one from them first, and I really liked that one, so I went back and I purchased this one. And then I went back today and I purchased another one from this collection just like this, because I feel like this collection for them is honestly their best collection for eyeshadow palettes, because I do have their other palettes where they have them like going straight down like that, and I'm not gonna say those aren't good, but it's just not my favorite from the brand. The ones like this is definitely my preference for that brand. All right, and then moving on into the last one. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, last one is going to be number 5. This one is going to be by Profusion. It's their Mixed Metals Peach 9 Matte and Metallic Eyeshadow Palette. I did feature this in my Ulta haul as well. Here is the packaging for it, and I already used this palette. I haven't used it on my channel yet, but first of all, this mirror right here is amazing, and here is the actual eyeshadows in this palette. I do want to get more eyeshadows like the ones like this from them, because these are definitely their best formula for an eyeshadow palette. Let me do a quick swatch for you guys so you can see. These colors in here are so pretty. They're really pigmented, and I was truly surprised because I told you guys I love Profusion as a brand. And keep in mind, they do have their products that's hits and of course misses, but for me, this one for them was definitely a hit, and they did a phenomenal job with this eyeshadow palette. You can actually find it at Target because they now carry their full brand at Target, which I'm super happy for them on. But again, here is the swatches for the eyeshadow palette, and I did use this. I didn't use it on camera, but I used it when I was doing my makeup to film like a video, and I was just blown away by the pigmentation, the intensity. The shimmer shades are really pretty in this palette. Honestly, there's only one color in here I don't really care for, which is this one right here, because I don't know, it just doesn't like it doesn't wow me, but it's still a really pretty color. But besides that, I do love the eyeshadow palette a lot, and I was just very happy for them. And you do get the eyeshadow palette, an eyeshadow brush, a lip pencil, and a lip metallic lip like color for I think it's like all of $9. So you get a lot for the price. So yeah, definitely love this palette as well. But yeah, you guys, that's pretty much all of my favorite warm tone eyeshadow palettes from the drugstore. Again, it's just my current favorite because you guys know makeup is dropping pretty much like every single day. There's a new makeup product that's launching. I know Maybelline just launched their new mini eyeshadow palettes, and there's a warm tone one. I want to say it's like an all matte one that I want to get my hands on. So keep in mind, this is just like my current favorite warm tone eyeshadow palettes from the drugstore. If I had to say out of all of these to just pick like one or two, I'll just say two because like I can't just pick one. But if I had to say just pick like two, I would say pick the one from Makeup Revolution, and I would say get the one from Bad Habit Beauty because it's pretty much like my top two. And then Profusion would be number 3, Wet n Wild would be number 4, and Elf would be number 5. But I can't pick a number 1 and 2. I'll just say pick these two as your first go-to from the drugstore. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like always, please be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.